Good morning, everybody. Craig DeLeo here. Now, in my lust, we'll call it, to go over my series in the Constitution, I went right ahead into Amendment 1 of the Constitution. And I actually skipped the more important part, which is the meat of the Constitution and the amendments of the Constitution, or the articles, not the, we have the articles and we have the amendments. Now, the first set of amendments were written with the original Constitution, but the Constitution itself is before that, and it's our founding document, and it talks a lot about how the powers of the government is broken down, and it's more important than anything else. And one of the things I failed to do was talk about, to me, one of the most important parts of the Constitution, and to me, one of the things that drives me more than anything else when it comes to government and the Constitution. And it's the preamble, I guess is what you would call it. And it's that first paragraph of the Constitution that we always see in all these movies and everything else. And I'm going to read it for you here, and I'm going to read it directly from my little pocket Constitution. Okay? We, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, insecure domestic tranquility, provide for common defense, promote the general welfare, and to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, to obtain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. This paragraph is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful paragraphs you will ever see, because it's very plainly worded, in my opinion, as complex as it is, and it says a lot about what our founding fathers were trying to do in the wording. Because I point out a few things. It's not we, the property owning males. It's not we, white males. It's not we, the people of the United States. It's everybody. And one of the things that I will say is my mindset, and one of the arguments I have with my son's 18, and with all of you younger folks, is one of the arguments I had with him was labels. And when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, in my first time going to college, we fought tooth and nail to get rid of labels. And this was something that I find interesting when it comes to my generation versus you guys' generation, is we didn't believe in labels, because our answer was, you're a male, great, you can be a nurturer, you can be a stay-at-home dad, you're a woman, doesn't matter, you can be the breadwinner, you can do this, you're gay, you're straight, you're transgender, you're whatever, doesn't matter. The label is unimportant. You can do whatever you want to put your mind to. If you can do it, great. Show me you can do it, and you can do it. This is one of the things why we hated these labels, because we felt the label limited you. That was a box that we had to put you in. That was the difference. And one of the arguments I had with my son was, we fought tooth and nail to get rid of these labels because we felt they put you in a box. It's wrong, but that's not what these labels are for. But that was my mentality and the argument I had with my son, and he's since educated me, because his answer was, no, it's fluid. You can jump from box to box to box to box. And again, I listened. He taught me, and this is where I point out this. One of the reasons why I find this paragraph so powerful is because all the other stuff beyond it is irrelevant, because it says exactly here what we're due. We're trying to establish a more perfect union. We're establishing justice, domestic tranquility, providing for the general welfare and the blessings of liberty and prosperity. Doesn't say it's only due to pasty old white dudes. Doesn't say it's only due to straight. It doesn't say that. It says all people. People. That's powerful. Yes, later on, there's clarification saying that because we had idiots that were not saying, "Oh, you're a woman, it doesn't count. Oh, you're black, you're African American, you're whatever." No, we had to make clarifications because people didn't understand that people, the wrapper doesn't matter. And one of my burns with what used to be called, when I was involved with LGBA, and I know it's LGBTQ plus now. I'll yell at my son to tell me the correct phrase later. These organizations have been around since before I was 18 years of age. They should have to, because this is not relevant to discussion. And what I was trying to argue in high school and couldn't articulate was this paragraph right here. This paragraph says everything we need to know, and the rest of this document shouldn't be necessary, because this paragraph says, we the people. People. If you're here, you're people. So guess what? Those are the rights that are due to you. And I also have to point out where our founding fathers put the bar. They didn't put the bar here. They put the bar ridiculously high, because I, as a different type of Christian, because I live with Muslims, I've worked with Buddhists, I've worked with all these religions, I have had in-depth religious discussions with all these people. I worked with and lived with Jundis for a year. Trust me, we've had some religious discussions, but the bar these guys put on what our government should be is ridiculously high. A more perfect union. I don't believe that's possible, but that's one hell of a bar to put up there. A perfect union. Holy crap, as flawed beings, that's one hell of a bar to put up there. A perfect union. Whew, that is up there. And we as oath takers to this document, that's hard. And this is where I put you as an oath taker, is where the founding fathers, I remind you where they put that bar. A perfect union. That is hard, gentlemen and ladies. Excuse me, people. I don't know. Someone has to tell me a correct gender fluid neutral phrase to use other than guys. There's my word, guys, shipmates. That's a high bar, a perfect union. And this is why we need all this other. This is why we need 100 and how many pages is this thing? This is why we need over 100-page document to clarify that phrase, a perfect union, because defining perfect requires a lot of clarification. But people and perfect union is all we need to know. That's where we need to strive. That is why I take this document so darn seriously, because a perfect union in America also requires us to let people find that same perfect union everywhere. And this is why I take this stuff seriously. This is why USCIS and the F1 visa program, the student visa program, is designed to bring people here, let them see our perfect union, and want to take that back to wherever they came from. This is why F1 visa programs are so critical, is because we're supposed to be showing them the example of how they can do it, or at least try to do it. So again, Wendy, hopefully you guys start to see where I'm coming from. And I love you all. I love all my shipmates, and have a super day.